Well, here we are at the start of the 2015 South Lakes Tractor Run. Crews came from all parts of the county and from much further afield as well. And we were delighted to see enthusiasts, and these lads had come all the way from Yorkshire, come via Richmond and Reeth into Swaledale, and here they are filling up at Nateby service station. There were 4 of them: Mike Kendall, Robert Powell, Malcolm Simpson and David Simpson, and just taking a well-earned break, back on the road again, and they make their way west. And from Nateby they took their way through Kirby Stephen, over by Sunbegin Tarn and Orton to Shapwells, where they did an overnight stay. And on Sunday morning our crews were out with the cameras early just to catch a number of the crews arriving, and these 2 were from Skipton, a Sammy tractor and a Fent. Early arrivals at Old Hull Farm, James Breakwell on his Fergie 240, and following him in, Sarah Rhodes on a newly acquired Fergie 135, nice turnout. Woolly Hat driving a white David Brown, and he's followed in by this big John Deere. I don't think I'm going to argue with that lad if he's protecting a tractor later in the day. Most important job here, get the raffle sorted out, get those tickets in the box. It all goes to raising the funds for our charity of the year. Signing on, followed by a driver's briefing. Cliff Woodhouse, the other co-organiser, explaining to all of the drivers the basic rules around the event today and the outline route, and wishing them a great day out. And here we can see, looking out on the road to Low Hay Bridge, across the Tarn, bit of the softer landscape of South Lakeland. Just have a look around while we wait for the tractors to come. And here they are, leading again, that white David Brown. And we get a chance to see the tractors working their way through this woodland in this soft landscape of South Lakeland, not known to many, but certainly worth exploring if you're from away this area. Malcolm Simpson's Dector's acting as tractor cam here. Nice and steady, considering we're going into an off-road section. Up through the woods we'll go, and these tractors are running about midfield, leading tractors already way up here. And here's the lead tractor, Brian Harrison on his International, Linda Thompson following on, Brian shepherding her through this event. She's a regular on tractor runs with David Brown. It's a very nice example as well. First bit of water of the day on the off-road section. No trouble at all. I'm going to see some serious water though later on as the day gets on. Thomas Woodhouse on this nice little Marshall. BMC diesel engine under the bonnet. Out of a Sherpa van, I think, that engine. Nicely turned out. A regular on this event is Thomas. Next through this water splash is George on his Ford 3000, followed by John Thwaites on a 3000. Now John did a smashing job all day. He took one of the tractor cams, you'll see it strapped to his rollover bar, and he worked quite hard with this, so he got some cracking shots of the tractors. Brian Crow and Dan getting the feet wet in the water splash, tractor working a bit hard there, puffing a bit of smoke out, but going well. It's a nicely turned out example, and they've done, I think, just about all of the South Lakes tractor runs on this 135. Well, now we're about to enter the first of the more serious Fords, and here it is, looking rather splendid on Sunday morning. Come on, Linda. There you go. So they're going to work their way through here. That's just to give us a taste of what's to come. And now we've got the benefit of the tractor cam on the Dexter, just following little Fergie in there with his link box nicely covered up. Well, next time, having seen this film, we'll just raise the hydraulics, I think. And there we are. Now that's through the first part of this Ford. They think it's all over, but it's only just begun. There's a bit more just round the corner. Let's have a look what's happening up there. So a gentle start, first Ford of the day, all looks fairly straightforward. They're making a good job of it as they work their way through. Here they go again, making good progress on the 135. These two lads, regular attenders to the South Lakes tractor run, and making their way onto this first quite serious off-road section. Just emerging from these woods, quite a rare machine, this Steyr 760. Don't think we've had one of these on the South Lakes run previously, so good to see it. And from here they're going to be making their way out onto the open fell for a run on an off-road section across the fell. Little white David Brown making his way out as well. We're just coming steadily through the gate here. Look at that, a 3-seater link box and umbrella. See Ferguson there, and goodness me, look at this. We've entrapped runners and a dog. Now this tractor's a bit special because when it comes to link boxes, I'm sure there's a bit of one-upmanship going on. Look at this, beautifully coach painted, two nice ladies, air conditioned, heater, cool box. No wonder they're enjoying themselves. What a grand setup. Look at that, all trout and tranquility. Sunday morning, little Langdale Ford. What a joy. And then cliff arrives with a Discovery. And a long line of 78 tractors. Well, it's a beautiful spot. The last time we did this Ford, we were coming from the other direction and the water was up to the bottom of the footbridge. So I'm afraid we had to do a diversion and take the tractors another route. But today they can just wade their way quietly through here. Brian Harrison still leading the line of tractors, showing the way through.
What do you think of the tractor roll?
Yay!
So emerging from Little Langdale Ford, the tractors climbed up onto the Tilberthwaite Road. Cameraman standing lower down on the Hodge Close Road looking uphill. There they are, just making their way along the skyline. They've worked hard this morning and they're off to Coniston now, where lunch awaits. It's usually a good decent lunch. I guess these guys will be ready for it. And here are the tractors. They've just left the Broughton-in-Furness Road just after Tover, and are heading south now onto the first of a very long off-road section with some steep and challenging climbs ahead. In the background there, Old Man Coniston standing splendidly, Dow Crag to the left. What a wonderful view down this quiet valley here. And also in the middle distance there we can see on the road some of the bigger tractors already making their way along the metalled road, having to detour around because they're simply too big to get through this particular section and the section that follows. Way in the distance there, just picking up the lead vehicle, Cliff Woodhouse in his Land Rover Discovery there, making his way along, tractors following up. Showing how it's done on the steeper section in Little Grey Fergie, 60-plus-year-old tractor there. Cover on his link box didn't sail away. And here's Lagan. This is the second 135 he's been on today. The first one, which belonged to co-organiser Mark Mavers, blew a head gasket. So he disappeared off and borrowed another one from Alex Sharphouse to complete the event. Good lad. I honestly do wonder what the younger generation find to do with their mobile phones. Maybe he's writing an on-the-spot report for a tractor magazine. Maybe. One could live in hope. And here's Chris Allenby, another regular on this event. There's Little Grey Fergie. He's very often led the second group of tractors for us. But again, it's a tough section this. There's still a long way to climb. Handy things, link boxes. This little 35 has an interesting passenger. There he is, the German Shepherd that we saw at the start. He absolutely loves it. And why not? It's a great day out. And when you get over the summit, there's the view of Morecambe Bay and out to the Irish Sea. And part of the marine landscape along this coast has changed quite dramatically in recent years. We now have one of the biggest wind farms off the Furness Peninsula, around the whole of the coast of Britain out there. These guys have just crossed over the summit, lead tractors here, making their way down. It's quite a tricky descent, certainly the first bit, just over the top. From here it gets steep and very rocky, and then evens out later on. Way up on the pass, there's a little figure there of the cameraman. He's filmed them up, and he's also filming some of these going down. Yeah, some of the local inhabitants squabbling over territory. Go on, jump, you wimp. Yeah, then it's my rock, get off. There they go. Down at the bottom of the descent, through the gate and across some undulating land and away. It's a tough section, and we've got a bit of a traffic snarl up at the bottom. You can see how many tractors did this event. They'll spread out once they get on the next section, which is mainly undulating, some metalled road and then some more off-roading on the run down to the finish. We have another hour or more yet of driving before they get back to the finish. This is Linda Thompson leading over Bessie Bank, famous for its hairpins. Famous not just on tractor runs but on the old night rallies that used to run through this area. Tractor's going to work quite hard up through these hairpins, so let's have a listen and leave them to it. Over Bessie Bank, and the tractors are now well on their way. Next junction will be for Oxon Park, and there's a reassuring arrow just to confirm this is the route. The tight roads round here, we don't want them going astray, so the little arrow is very useful. Here we are, just approaching Oxon Park village. The Tractors will swing right up towards the village now, having passed these green sheds. And then once through the village, you just go over the brow and then a long descent down towards Bouth and the finish at Old Hall Farm. Well, the crews have had a long day. They've covered some miles. There's been some beautiful scenery, beaten the rain. I think the off-roads look very, very challenging in places, but certainly enjoyable. And all of the crews have earned a decent cup of tea, which will be waiting for them when they get back here.